Just a game of missed opportunities. Our defense was putting us in some great situations, with the interceptions and not coming away with points. Having an interception on one of those things really hurt us. Some basic things, a couple of penalties put us in long drives, a drop on third down. really just comes down to fundamental execution and things that, I felt like we're moving in the right direction, but we didn't take that step today that I was looking for, collectively as a group. And the defense battled, and they kept us in it, gave us some opportunities there, and then we turned it over again at the end with an opportunity to make the game close there at the end. Yeah, it was a great action. He had Mitch open in the back half, and there's an option he could take off and run it into the front pylon. He saw Mitch, and, right when he turns back in, they had a defender on the edge who popped out and intercepted it. At that time, he made a great play on the ball. But, we've been running the ball there in that situation, and felt like we could get another chance to run at it if we didn't get the completion on that roll. But I like the call. It was an aggressive call, a play action that we had opportunities on, and unfortunately came out with an interception.
Dave, Tommy went for that pass too. Were they supposed to be in the same area like that?
I haven't gotten a clear. I'll be able to tell you more about that once I look at the film.
But, I mean, does the play call, is it designed for them?
No, not to be in the same area. Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I think, had 9 carries on the day. Was that by design, or was there any reason why they actually abandoned the run this game?
I just felt like building off of what happened last week and just taking a step forward with the pass game. I saw some opportunities. We were protecting pretty well as far as pass protection goes, and it just felt like we just didn't come away with our opportunities consistently enough early on. And then in the second half, at a certain point when the score becomes what it is, it's like, okay, we're in a 2-score game. We got to move it a little bit here and throw the ball around, and had some measure of success that way. But and the run game seemed to be hitting pretty good, but I was trying to take advantage of it. They were playing some loaded boxes that did a good job with their disguise in some of those areas too.
How much did those loaded boxes kind of take away the tight ends, maybe the middle of the field, at least from your perspective?
Yeah, it might have a little bit. Again, at a glance, I thought we had some opportunities and some one-on-one matchups outside, and we made some, but not consistent enough.
Consistency seems to be an issue with this team. Record-setting game last week, and then this week struggling on offense. What do you think is the problem there? Why is it not clicking for you guys yet?
Yeah, it's just fundamental execution. It's the little things. It's making the completions. It's the right throw, catching the ball, doing all the little things right. That I can count on these guys to do, and making sure that shows up weekly.
Dave, 15-minute edge for them, time of possession. How much of that played a factor in the 3 or 4 injuries on defense?
I don't know how much of a factor it was that way, but I know they did a great job of making first downs and finding early success on third down. They kind of took the ball down the field on third downs and were pretty much perfect in that area. And they got, we did a really solid job against the run game. But as the game goes on, and because we weren't able to sustain drives offensively, we're leaving our defense out there a long time, and they start making extra yards after that with 2 good solid backs.
You're down.
Injuries. Can you give us an insight into what happened with JC? I know he finished the half, but then he was in concussion protocol.
Yeah, it didn't present as a head injury initially, and then once he came in for the half, that's when it started to really materialize. So when he came out and he was, feeling nauseous and all that, those are signs that our training staff took and said, okay, we got to make sure we do further evaluation on that.
Dave, you obviously needed 2 scores down 11.
Yeah.
Going for the 57-yarder, what was the conversation like with Tracy beforehand, and why that?
Yeah, if we could get it past the 40, give Ryan a shot, to get a field goal there. Kick him back deep. We'd had timeouts, see if we can get a stop, which our defense ended up getting a stop after that. So the goal was to do that, get the ball back, and see if we can go down to tie it up.
I understand that you have to focus on multiple things. There's a video that's clear as day of Trevon Merrick hitting Jawan Jennings low, not near the ball at all. What happened there? Did you get any?
I'll get to the bottom of that. I want to see what exactly happened, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Trey about that yet. As you know, we've just been kind of talking to the team and wrapping up the day, but that'll be a conversation that I'll dig into.
Will you try to talk to him tonight?
Yeah, I'll talk to him tonight, and I want to make sure I'll have a chance right now to look at the film and to see what happened.
Dave, Bryce had to break out last week. What defined his struggles tonight?
It's just the full group execution and just making sure we're on the same page with the calls that are coming in and out. The timing and rhythm, making sure he's getting his throws off the right way, making sure guys are running the right routes at the right depth. Those are all the things that we're just hammering on as a group, and we have to continue to regroup quickly this week and get to the bottom of the execution part of it.
We'll do a couple more. Dave,
Yeah, missed opportunity, and there was a lot of moments like that, and that certainly was one of them.
How disappointing to come in on this stage and not play up to snuff?
Yeah, we just have to be able to carry our execution, regardless of where it's at, what time it's played, who the opponent is. We have to focus on those things and make sure that we come out of the game with good football. And I didn't feel like we did collectively. There were spots. There was some really good football played in areas, but certainly from an offensive standpoint with the penalties, putting us into some bad situations on some 1st and 20s and things like that, it gets harder. And so those are some of the things that are talking about. And then just the basics of it, the blocking, throwing, and catching, the things that we have to really come back to and improve.
Dave, 12 games into year 2, how confident do you feel in your ability to handle situational football as well as play calling and also finding a chemistry with what Bryce is doing on the field?
I have a lot of good help, but again, this is a collective thing, and it starts with me. I have to make sure that we're all, taking that information and making it come alive. And having a good attack, love the game plan that we had coming into it, but making sure that our guys are ready. And so I got to do whatever it takes to make sure that they're ready to go. And we have a modified week now, this week, and so we have to be able to take the lessons from this and move on quickly. We have everything still right in front of us. We have to understand that, but the only way we're going to make it happen is by playing good fundamental football.
Bryce had an amazing game against Atlanta. To put him in that position today where he's having to carry it because the running game, I guess you got away from the running game. What do you make of that, and how do you have to move forward so that doesn't happen continuously?
The run game was solid when we look at it per average. Just there were some good runs, and but the mix of it and the way we were going to try to attack this team, it didn't play out. We didn't come away with a lot of the passes that we wanted to make that happen. And so again, it's just going back to the basics of it and looking at the execution part and making sure we're all collectively looking at it together, agreeing upon what needs to be improved and moving forward.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dad, go out.
Just lack of execution. You know, a couple plays you want to have back, a couple stuff they could do better. Haven't watched the film yet, but you go out there, live it, doesn't feel great, sucks. Going to be a sucky plane ride back, but we got a short week. We got to turn the page. We got to flush it quick. So, you know, not the outcome we wanted, but, you know, we're moving forward.
Consistency has been kind of an issue with this team. You have a game and a breakout game or a good game, and then the next one not so great. What do you guys need to do in order to be consistent, especially offensively?
Just execute. You know, there's no dream plays. There's no hoorah speeches. Got to do a better job of executing. Obviously, myself, I got to take care of the ball. I got to do a better job of making plays go today. Didn't do good enough. So, you know, I take all ownership in that. And we have a locker room of guys that do that. So, you know, we just got to be better. Again, there's not some magical fix. It's us buckling down and playing good football. Didn't get that done on offense today. Again, it sucks, but it's a quick week. We got to be able to flush it quick, and, you know, on to the next one.
What did you see on that goal line play that resulted in, I think you were going to 84?
Again, good play by DB. Can't put the ball in peril like that, especially in a situation like that. Take full ownership. That's on me. I have to do a better job making decisions. Again, it's on me, and we'll wear it for this 24, and then we'll turn the page.
Do you have run-pass options?
It's football, so always can, you know, do what you have to do. Again, it's no one's fault but mine. That's part of the position. Again, not fun, but, you know, it is what it is.
Did you consider running?
Again, should have made a better decision with the ball. I take ownership in that.
Bryce, this sounds disappointing after last week's high passing game comes to life. And I think tonight you guys only had one explosive, your touchdown to T-Mac. What was the biggest difference between last week and this week?
Execution. Again, first and foremost, starts with me. Have to do a better job of making things go. There are opportunities out there. I can do a better job of getting that. And then, again, we all wear it. Wasn't some crazy difference in game plan. Coaches did a great job of having us prepared. I have to do a better job of making it go. You know, again, sucks right now. We have opportunity next week. After the 24, we'll turn the page and look forward to that.
Bryce, what do you think of the big picture from this loss today? I mean, a chance to separate yourself a little bit in the division. Just what do you think of the big picture?
That it's a loss. That's all it is. Again, playing right back's going to suck. I don't even know if we have the 24-hour luxury now. When it's, you know, we're all competitors, it sucks to have this outcome. And then after that, it doesn't matter. You know, next week we're going to be 0-0. We have to earn the right to try to be 1-0 next week. It's going to, you know, go into practice, go into the week. So there's no, again, we don't have luxuries to think about big picture. I think that's you know, not a good recipe for this league. Everyone demands our utmost attention. So we'll flip the page and go to next week.
Does it make it tougher when defense is getting the interceptions and getting the ball back to you guys and trying to make something?
I mean, again, it's not going to make the playing right feel any better. They played a great game. Again, it's a really good unit. They turned the ball over. They did an amazing job of you know, creating those turnovers, of doing stuff. And as offense, you know, we feel bad. You know, we let them down today. I let them down today. Sucks, but again, you know, we got next week. It's gonna suck right now, and then that's just the nature of this league. You got to flush it and get ready for next week.
Guessing you guys didn't know that a win would have put you guys in sole possession of first. How disappointing not to capitalize on that.
Again, sucks right now. We don't have luxuries for big picture, not in this league. You know, it was all about being 1-0 this week. Didn't happen. So that's what we're disappointed about. We'll be disappointed for, again, however long for the plane ride. We get back to Charlotte. We have to get back to work and just worry about the next week. Appreciate it.